Hey guys, hey Speak Easy podcast listeners. It is Alchemy Spelter, your voice manager. I unmute the voice of women who are ready to speak up about what has kept her silent for way too long. I am blown away about throughout this series, guys. Have you heard the things that have been said? Have you been taking note on the powerful gems that have been dropped throughout these episodes? If you have not, what are you waiting for? Go back, recheck them out. Go back, press play again, and make sure that you're jotting some things down. And remember, the most valuable thing is for you to be able to take action in each episode. Now, I'm excited about my guest today because I am a lover of all things music. I can tell you that at some point in my life, I've listened to every genre of music. Every genre, okay? And I currently have children who listen to multiple genres of music. And so we're going to be talking a little bit about that, but there's some really great tidbits that you're going to get in this episode that I want you to take note of. I'm not going to tell you up front. I just want you to pay attention and make sure that if you have to pause it, write it down, and then press play again. With that being said, hello, Glory.
Well, hello, and thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited to have you. So tell the audience a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to dive into today's topic.
Sure. Well, my name is Glory St Germain. I'm the author of the Ultimate Music Theory series and creator of the Ultimate Music Theory certification course for teachers online. I started out many years ago as a very not confident, frustrated, teacher that wasn't really too sure how to learn effectively and how to teach effectively. And so it kind of put me on my path. And I think, what you said earlier, just about sometimes you need to stop and take notes. And the most important thing is NEPD, which is never ending professional development. What are you learning today? And then what are you implementing? So, it's all great to sit and listen to something, but if you don't hit pause, if you don't write that stuff down, that's some GSD, get stuff done. Let's move forward, women. Let's do this.
I absolutely love that. So with that being said, Glory, what is the one bit of information that you've received that just lit you on fire? Like the one thing that you can say that you look back and you're like, that created a pivotal moment in my life or my business.
Yeah. The one really pivotal moment, and I'll actually never forget this moment, was I was presenting a workshop in front of a room full of teachers, and I was presenting on my books to sell the books. And at that moment, I looked at the room full of educators and saw blank faces saying, I don't know really how to do this. And that's what put me on the path to become a course creator. I realized I can impact. It's one thing to teach children in my studio, but it's another thing to rise up and teach educators and empower them to become, ultimate music teachers. So that was a defining moment for me when I had, I need to be a course creator because I can serve a greater community when I can share what I know with other educators that can then multiply into the world of musicians. So that was my aha moment.
Oh, that's significant because sometimes we always talk about being the change we want to see, and a lot of times we are looking at where we've been comfortable, where we normally are doing things, the communities that we're normally in, the people that we usually speak to. But when we say I really do want to be that change, sometimes that requires us to see something at a different perspective and to be in a different community, because that can change everything. It can make you really look and go, wait, I really can do something else a little different here. I really can make some change and have it, the ripple effect. I'm really big on the ripple effect.
Yes.
You throwing that little pebble in and not knowing where those ripples will stop or where they'll touch, but you were the initiator.
Yes. And I think the important thing sometimes is to get altitude, is what I call it. An interesting exercise, I'm gonna give you a little tip here. And I think this is an important one to write down. When I am really thinking big picture, and I actually do this, I actually stand up. I write down the maybe the obstacles, maybe the goals, maybe not sure how to put it all together. And I literally stand up and I look at it as an overview. Where can I, fit this all together? And sometimes even in mine, I have a gratitude journal. I write in every day. And sometimes I will simply write in there, um, you know, please, I'm grateful for the clarity of the message that I want to send and how I can serve the people that I've been put on this earth. God gave me a gift. He said, here's your brain. Now you can choose to use it or not. So my little first tip would be to write down your struggles, write down who you want to serve and the difference that you want to make in the world. And then just stand up and get altitude and look at it from the big picture and actually look down, from the mountaintop to say, what do I need to do? And then rise up and climb up that mountain so you can go, I did it. And I certainly did that. When we hit our $1 million mark in our business, I stood at the top of the mountain and went, we did it. And there's nothing more satisfying than climbing the mountain. So get altitude.
Oh, get altitude. I love that. Guys, it's definitely time. If you didn't realize it, things they are changing. Everything has shifted this year, and we thought everything shifted and everything fell apart, but in all actuality, I think a lot of times the shift came to put things in perspective. It kind of shifted things and realigned them. And so you've definitely had the opportunity that you may not have had before, but that's really significant. And it comes with having some conversations. It comes with going to trainings. It comes with taking courses. It comes with learning. Mm-hmm. I am a avid enforcer of always learning, reading books, take a course, but you always make sure, like we said before, you take that action with it. I want to make sure that I'm implementing what it is that I'm learning so that way I can go to another level and elevating. So that is really significant. And so even with your courses, do you have any of the success stories that really stood out for you?
Massive success stories. When we created, and I'm so glad that you just said everything you said about learning and implementing and reading books and so on and growing. So I'm also a coach, and within our UMTC Elite Educator program, I coach teachers on how to grow their businesses. And I have seen immense growth. You said the world is changing, and you have two options right now. You can sit down at the bottom of the mountain, you can cry your little eyes out, or you can put on your big girl panties and your boots and climb up that mountaintop. And I should say, I was just going to illustrate one of them, but there have been so many success stories inside our Elite Educator program. Mark has grown his business by 60%, grown by 60%. The educators coming into the program are all making money. We have quick wins. How do I get there? It's a difficult time when, as educators, we teach in person, and now we don't. Well, you need to embrace how to learn to teach online. You need to take a course on what will get you there faster. I'm all about study. I'm in a lot of courses that I personally take. I'm like you, I'm always signing up for stuff, but I hit the pause button, I write it down, I think, and then I implement. So sometimes for me, it might take me a while to go through a program, but it's because I want to see success right now. So when you're investing in the program, I guarantee with our program, it is geared for your success. I didn't create a course just because I wanted to create a course and make a lot of money. I created a course because I truly believe that I can help make a difference in the lives of music educators, and the success stories prove it. And I'm really proud of that because that's what lights me up.
I hope you guys were listening to that, because when we think about the power of why, we think about, how can I make the impact or bigger impact, or how can I make a more significant impact? How can I make an impact in children's lives? How can I make an impact in their parents' lives? And when we think about music is universal. And so there are so many things that people do when it comes to music, to be able to just sit and listen, from children with autism to being able to just meditate, to be able to just bring yourself back into focus. Music plays a huge role in the lives of people everywhere. So that is, putting yourself in that position to be able to make that shift for people is really amazing. And I can't say it enough. Our teachers are valuable.
Yes.
They are so valuable. And I know here in the States, we don't always put as much value as we need to on our teachers. Our teachers are very valuable. And if this year did not show you how valuable the teachers are, when you had to be in the teacher's role and had to do things with the kids and you had to go back to fifth grade and high school and you didn't like high school.
I have a story I want to share with you because I'm so honored to be part of Purvi's book, The Power of Why 2. And in The Power of Why 2, and it's a must read. Like, you have to read it. There are so many inspirational stories in there. And my particular chapter is on the magic of music. I'm not going to divulge the whole thing, but I'll give you a little sneak peek inside. My story is one of transformation, and it's a very, very powerful story that greatly influenced my life. And it's about one of my students who was brilliant. You talked about students that have, autism, or students that just want music therapy or whatever it might be. Connor was brilliant. By the time he was 12 years old, he already had recorded CDs. He had been performing in concerts, done, tributes to Oscar Peterson. He was at the top of his game. He was there. And then he had a traumatic brain injury that left him paralyzed on the right side of his body. Now, how do you teach someone who was once brilliant, who has now got a brain injury? Now, I'm not going to divulge the entire story because I want you to read what happened to Connor and how did he overcome these obstacles. And almost more importantly is, how did that affect me? I was his teacher. What do I do? What are the tools that I had to dig deep into learning how to help him? And that's why it's so powerful. You talk about music therapists, you talk about, how do we help our students? So whether I am teaching teachers or whether I'm teaching students, I learn from all of them. And I think the key point is, you learn more by listening than you do by talking. So sometimes you need to zip it up and listen. What are the people's struggles that you are working with? What about your family? All you do is talk about me. Well, just be quiet for a minute and listen, and then take those thoughts and uplift them to the next level. So I hope you really enjoy The Power of Why, and in particular, the magic of music, because it really brought me to tears as I wrote that chapter and reflected on the journey that I had with Connor. So I hope it serves you as you read it.
Oh my goodness, that leads us right into your power of why statement. You just talked about that particular instance, and how that really significantly changed your outlook in what it is that you wanted to do. How has the power of why, learning your why, made an impact in your business?
It's been significant. When I first, came in contact with Purvi, and, she's become a friend through the many collaborations that we have worked on. And as I read through The Power of Why 1, I was so moved by, wow, you need to define your why. And my why, as I shared earlier, was, I wanted to help others, and specifically in my industry. But as I became part of The Power of Why, and as I read the other stories in there, it really helps you define, what is your purpose? And not only what is your purpose, but why do you want to do that? And then do it. I think so often we say, well, why do you teach? Well, I teach because I love music. Okay, well, why do you love music? Okay, well, I love music because it brings me joy. Okay, well, why does it bring you joy? Well, because it elevates my mood. It creates the scene for whether it's a funeral or whether it's a birthday party or it's a celebration, it's a wedding. I'm feeling sad and I need something. Healing frequencies. I have a condition called diverticulitis. My daughter Sherry, who's a music producer, sent me healing frequencies that I listen to that helps me just really realign my body. Like the power and the magic of music is there. And I think my why is that it lights me up to serve others. And that's really my why.
I love it. I love it. Speakeasy podcast listeners, if you have not tapped into your power of why, first and foremost, you need to make sure that you get a copy of the book. But also, I want you to understand that it's work that we do. It's work that we do for ourselves when it comes to tapping into that power that's attached to our why, because your why can drive you. So it can take you to a whole nother level. It can take you to the finish line. It can take you to achieving your goals, but only when you are really cognizant about what it is that why really is. And so, Glory, I absolutely love this episode. Let them know how they can reach out to you and also where they can find you at online.
Absolutely. So it's simple. Just go to ultimatemusictheory.com. So ultimatemusictheory.com. We also have our Facebook page and our Facebook group, Ultimate Music Theory. Obviously, all things Ultimate Music Theory. If you're interested in diving in a little deeper, you can reach out to me personally at Glory, Glory, as in hallelujah, Glory at ultimatemusictheory.com. We also have our YouTube channel, so check us out on all the videos. And I look forward to serving you in any way that I can.
Most definitely. Speakeasy podcast listeners, you know that we appreciate each and every one of you, because without the listeners, there would be no Speakeasy podcast. So make sure that you're joining the conversation, bit.ly/World Voice Community. Because as you join the conversation, guys, we want to make sure that you're taking some good things away from this series and specifically this episode. You can also leave us a review on all major podcasting platforms, because again, we want to make sure that we're bringing you exactly what you need. With that being said, guys, until next time, I am your host, Altavis Pelzer. Don't forget to press it out. See ya.
Thank you.